Erik ten Hag, manager of Manchester United, looks dejected as he leaves the pitch at full-time during the Premier League match between Manchester. Erik ten Hag expressed his frustrations after Manchester United's pitiful draw with Burnley and pointed the blame in one direction. Manchester United once again managed to go into the closing stages of a match in a winning position, but failed to claim the 3 points on Saturday, another dull match lacking in quality from Erik ten Hag's side only. Burst into life in the 79th minute when Anthony pounced on a wayward pass and coolly converted. Under pressure. It appeared to be the winning goal, but nothing is ever so simple for United, and they couldn't hold out for the remaining few minutes. Andre Onana, who had earlier kept his side in the game, needlessly gave away a penalty when he punched Zeki Amdouni in the face. The forward dusted himself off to convert the spot kick and earn the visitors a priceless point. Ten Hag was not best pleased after the full-time whistle. Player ratings. Rasmus Højlund anonymous in dreary draw as only 2 players get 7 out of 10. Manchester United head coach / manager Erik ten Hag reacts during the Premier League match between Manchester United and Burnley FC at Old Trafford. Erik ten Hag points blame in one direction for Burnley draw. Speaking after the match, ten Hag had no complaints with the decision to give Burnley their penalty. However, he still managed to find reason to complain about refereeing as he bemoaned a lack of consistency from officials. The Dutchman felt United should have had a spot kick themselves for a handball incident similar to the one Aaron Wan-Bissaka was penalised for in the FA Cup semi-final against Coventry City. Speaking to the BBC, ten Hag said, "I can see that it is a penalty, but in the other box I have seen a minimum of 3 penalties. The refereeing is really inconsistent. If you take the penalty last week against Aaron Wan-Bissaka, why wasn't today? There was a minimum of 1 penalty against Garnacho." The manager doubled down on his stance in an interview with Sky Sports via the BBC. When asked if his side were unlucky or lacked mentality, he replied, "Both. Bad luck, and we are not lucky with the refereeing in recent weeks. We've conceded so many penalties. This one is justified, but other ones, if you make Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the final a penalty, then what is this? Where is the consistency? We have to look in the mirror. We made a mistake, but you take responsibility, and they should understand what it means for a team and for a manager." Erik ten Hag sounds like a man under pressure. Managers, players, officials, fans, everyone is always blaming referees. Just look at Nottingham Forest. It's nothing new. But it sounds particularly desperate for a manager to be so forthright in his complaints when his side have just failed to beat a prime relegation contender. If United can't beat 19th-placed Burnley without the aid of penalties, then ten Hag's time really is coming to an end. His view on how many penalties United should have been awarded is highly skewed, too. The handball shout would have been harsh to the extreme, and Alejandro Garnacho was not fouled in the slightest after his 60-yard burst into the box. He went to ground looking for a penalty as there was no one in the box supporting him. Ten Hag is sounding increasingly like a man under pressure in what could be his final games in charge. On trial, all the very latest Man United news, views and transfer updates from the Manchester Evening News. Thomas Tuchel is being linked with the Manchester United job. Manchester United progressed to the final of the FA Cup after a chaotic victory over Coventry City at Wembley on Sunday afternoon. United prevailed 4-2 on penalties after the contest had finished level at 3-3 after 120 minutes. The Reds had led 3-0 but squandered that advantage in the latter stages, meaning the game was forced into extra time. Coventry thought they had won it with virtually the last kick of extra time through substitute Victor Torp, only for VAR to spot an offside in the build-up. That forced the contest to a penalty shootout and United got the job done, despite missing their first effort through Casemiro. United's reward is a showdown with Manchester City in next month's final. First, though, attention switches to finishing the Premier League season as strongly as possible. But the big talking point is Erik ten Hag's future and whether he will survive until the summer. United face Sheffield United on Wednesday night and will be desperate to halt their 4-game winless league run. They last won in the league against Everton on March 9. Ten Hag on trial. Until the end of the season, United manager Erik ten Hag will effectively be on trial over the next month, according